Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And I come to you from the Cahill Walkway, and I'm just walking over here to get a view across the harbour, across to the harbour bridge, and across to the Opera House with these jacaranda, these beautiful blossoming jacaranda trees. And we'll do a chat on a book summary for today. And the book summary that I've chosen to talk about is entitled Maximum Achievement, and it's written by one of the most awesome authors you can come across on personal development and leadership, Brian Tracey. Brian Tracey is a leader in his field and an absolute champion. Anyway, let's stop here and kick off today's 5am Club. And as you can see down there, look at what Sydney is up to. We've got circles everywhere, which will enable us to maintain our personal space and our social distancing. And we've got some chairs there to sit down and chat to each other. Not taking all that advantage of at the moment, but hopefully over the weekend it may be something that people will enjoy doing. How beautiful are these blossoms of the jacaranda tree. Anyway, let's kick off our talk today on maximum achievement. And what I'll do is I'll do a bit of a walk and talk, just so I can get back to work as well without being late. But Brian Tracey says something which is absolutely profound. And he says, your future largely depends on what you learn and practice from this moment on. How profound is that? Let's say it again just so it sinks in, because it is pretty deep and it is pretty powerful. Your future, remembering he's talking about your future, largely depends on what you learn and practice from this moment on. So there's a challenge there, there's a opportunity. Brian Tracey throws down the gauntlet to each and every one of us. And he's basically telling us that whatever we learn and whatever we implement, whatever we do from today on will impact and shape our lives. So it doesn't matter what you've learned in the past, doesn't matter all the things that you've been through, all the stories that you're accumulated. It's what you do today, what you do now, and what you continue to do will shape your future. Remembering that the past doesn't equal your future. If you've got a poor past or a bad past or a challenging past, it doesn't mean that your future has to be the same. And vice versa. If you've had a great past, if you don't do anything about it on a daily basis, then through entropy, everything's going to fall apart and your life's going to collapse into one big, awesome, disappointing mess. So there's a call to action. Brian Tracey calls everybody to action and says what you do from today on, so what you learn and practice from this moment on will determine your future. Can't get any clearer than that. Can't get any more powerful and empowering than that. We are the power, you are the power, and we've got that power, that awesome power in our hands right now. But he also says that you need to learn, relearn, and unlearn many things if you're going to make progress. And the unlearning is a real interesting one. I've never thought about the unlearning. But what Brian Tracey says is that we've got some beliefs, we've got some fears, we've got all of these other things in our lives and stories that we don't know where they came from or how they came about, but we keep on repeating them over and over. And these stories may or may not be serving us, may or may not be empowering us. But what Brian Tracey is suggesting is that there are some things that we need to learn and to relearn. In other words, reinforce again, so positively reinforce. And the stuff which is not all that empowering, which is potentially causing us heartaches and issues, we need to unlearn. I.e., we need to forget it, or we need to displace it, or we need to disrupt it in a way to enable us to get on with our lives and do the best possible things that we can do with the resources we've got available to us. So another beautiful metaphor that Brian Tracey uses is that we need to learn to become the conductor of our orchestra. And what does he mean by becoming a conductor of our orchestra? That's a real powerful analogy, an awesome metaphor, but it can get lost by people, because at the end of the day, we are the CEO of our lives. We are the boss man or the boss woman of our lives and our future, because we make choices, we make decisions, and we are, at the end of the day, an accumulation of all of those choices and decisions that we have made, or sadly, other people have made for us or on our behalf. But it's important, as Brian Tracey says, for you to be the conductor of your life and not to delegate that to other people. So what's the orchestra that he refers to? The orchestra that he refers to that you need to take charge of and conduct are the following instruments. It's what you do, what you say, what you hear, what you see, what you read, what you watch, what you focus on, what you listen to, who you associate with. There's a whole string of people, of activities, of distractions in our lives that we need to take charge of and be aware of, because all of these things put together are harmonizing or disharmonizing our lives, and you need to make sure that you do whatever you can to bring harmony to each and every one of these things, and to be congruent with your decisions, your actions, that they align with your values and all of the things that you have in your life, so that your priorities are coordinated and aligned with your values, and you're not doing things that you shouldn't be doing, or you're not doing things that are going to disempower you. You're not doing things that are going to end you up shipwrecked on rocks because the sirens have been calling you. The evil sirens have been calling you, and you haven't sat and thought about the consequences, the first, second and third consequences of your actions. Brian Tracey talks about the importance of weeding out all of these self-limiting beliefs that you have, the ones that you've come up with yourself and the ones that you've inherited from your parents, grandparents, friends, family, work peers, bosses, lovers, you name it. The social circle that you keep, the teams that you've played in, all of them have contributed to giving you both self-limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. But you need to weed out the self-limiting beliefs. He also talks about the importance of expectation. the expectation that you have on yourself, as well as the expectation that other people have on you. Because expectation, believe it or not, is very, very powerful, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you have low expectancy on the things that you do, if the people around you don't think highly of you or don't expect much of you, then you're just going to become what you expect and what other people expect of you if you accept their low expectancy or their lowbrow view of who you are and who you can become. Interestingly enough, Brian Tracey talks about the importance of becoming an inverse paranoid. Become inversely paranoid, and to look at the world as a universe that is conceiving to work together for your good as opposed to your evil. So look for good in people, look for good in everything around you. Have a positive self-image of yourself and live with positive expectancy is one of the key messages. And he says that at the end of the day, you will act consistently with the picture that you carry around in your mind, the pictures, the stories that you carry around in your mind. So make sure that you carry empowering pictures of yourself and the people around you, empowering pictures of your capabilities. And he finishes off with probably the most important point that I've read for a while: the importance of love, the importance of loving yourself. And he said, nobody should love you more than you love yourself, and vice versa. You should not love anybody else more than what you love yourself. How powerful is that? Is that message that you need to love yourself, and you can't possibly love anybody else more than what you love yourself, and you can't ever expect anybody else to love you more than you love yourself. I know that a lot of people will find that conflicting and will be conflicted with that, because a lot of people talk about, oh, I love my children, I love my grandchildren. But Brian Tracey says, at the end of the day, the love that you have for yourself will be the source of love that you can overfill your cup with to be able to share with everybody else. If you don't love yourself, Brian Tracey warns, then you're not capable of loving others or receiving love from others. Something to contemplate, something to think about. Anyway, it's getting a bit windy up here, so let me finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay well, and stay relevant. And most importantly, let's take a few of these leaves out of Brian Tracey's wonderful book, Maximum Achievement, and learn to love yourself, learn to weed out negative thoughts, and to live life with positive expectancy. Thank you, and I look forward to chatting to you again tomorrow from another location with another empowering message. Yassas from Jim's 5am Club. Bye for now.